Everything seemed normal, until a strange twist changed everything. Two souls switched bodies. Chaos, fear, and confusion spread everywhere. But one person knew the truth, a hidden secret that could change everything forever. The story begins with gangster boss Jang, whose life seemed nearly perfect. He had everything except a good wife. His wife Fin didn't love him at all. But Jang didn't care. He had married her solely because she was the daughter of the chairman of Han Company. One day Jang learns that a carpenter's shop lies in the path of his new project, and the carpenter refuses to move. On hearing this, Jang calls his most loyal man, Menchel, and orders him to take a few men and remove the carpenter's shop from the site. On the other side, the carpenter Jang is already tense when Menchel arrives with his men. At first they show a little courtesy, but then Menchel threatens, "If you don't sign by the count of 3, we'll cut off your hand and force your thumbprint ourselves." Frightened, Jang signs. That night, while Jang is calmly eating, another man named Yang, always trying to one-up Jang, appears. Jang humiliates him a little, and Yang storms off in anger. A while later, Jang's company acquires a building. To celebrate, Jang goes to a ramen restaurant, although he doesn't actually care about the ramen. He's there to watch someone. A high school boy named Dong is also eating there. Jang asks the restaurant owner, 10 years ago this place belonged to another woman. Where is she now? The owner replies, maybe she's passed away. Hearing this, Jang tries the ramen, which he doesn't like, pays, and prepares to leave. Dong gets a call and rushes to go, saying, "My wallet's missing." A woman in the restaurant says, "Son, go, this uncle will pay for you." She accepts money from Jang and tells him a gift will come soon. As Jang heads out, traffic caused by a garbage truck slows him down. Dong is on the roof. His shoe slips and he accidentally falls on Jang, knocking him unconscious. Jang wakes up in the hospital. A nurse says, "Honey, you're awake?" Jang wonders why the nurse called him honey. After the doctor examines him, Jang goes outside and another man says again, "Honey, you're awake." Jang begins to think everyone is crazy. Then he is shocked. He sees his own real body lying in a coma. Jang, the carpenter, arrives and calls Jang my son. Jang realizes his spirit has entered the high school boy Dong's body, the very boy who fell on top of him. The doctor assumes Dong is behaving oddly because of a head injury. Jang says, "My son's way of speaking has changed. Dong, I'm your father. Don't you recognize me?" Jang snaps, "Get your hands off me, old man. I'm not your son." The doctor suggests the symptoms may be from a brain injury and should improve with time. Jang remembers the possibility that their souls were switched by the woman at the restaurant. He returns to the restaurant, but there is no restaurant there anymore. A woman argues with him, saying the restaurant left years ago. Jang insists, "I ate ramen here yesterday." The woman thinks he's insane. Back home, Jang finds his wife crying. He assumes she is sad because of his coma, but she is actually crying because her necklace broke. When she sees him, she is terrified. Jang says, "I am your husband. I am Jang." She doesn't believe him, sounds the alarm, and grabs a sword. Guards arrive and hand Jang over to the police. The officer angrily asks Jang, "Why did you enter that house? Were you planning to steal?" Jang gets mad. "That house is mine. Why would I steal from my own place?" The carpenter stops his son Dong and tells the police that Jang has a head injury and might not be thinking clearly. The police let him go and they take Jang away. At the hospital, Jang keeps throwing himself on the floor, hoping he can return to his real body. Just then, his loyal man Munjul arrives. He thinks he walked into a couple's room and tries to leave, but suddenly remembers that this is his boss's room. He returns and shouts, "What are you doing with my boss?" He recognizes Jang as the same guy who fell on his boss and put him in a coma. The doctor enters, and Jang quietly runs away. Jang then goes to the carpenter Jang's house. Jang cooks a huge meal for his son. Jang says he can't eat that much, but after tasting one bite, he unknowingly eats everything. When he wakes up, all the food is gone. Jang tells him to rest and says they will go to school tomorrow and talk. That night, Jang sleeps in Dong's room. The next morning they go to school. Jang sits with full boss attitude. Meanwhile, Jang tells the principal that Dong doesn't remember anything from the day he fell, and he would never jump on his own. Someone must have hurt him. The principal refuses to believe it, and from the corner, Jang realizes the principal is hiding the truth. Jang tells Jang not to worry and goes to Dong's class. The teacher announces that because of the accident, Dong still isn't fully recovered, so everyone must help him. At school, some classmates greet Dong with a middle finger when he arrives. In the cafeteria, a group of girls begin bullying a girl named Yunan. One girl puts something in Yunan's food and forces her to eat it. Yun does not fight back and eats. Then those girls dump the rest of her food on her. Seeing this, Jang tells them, "Let her eat her lunch in peace. Why are you harassing her?" A boy named Tevik approaches and says, "Hey loser, don't talk too much." He moves to strike Jang, but a teacher intervenes and stops the fight. After lunch, Tevik and his friends corner Jang again. Tevik says, "You don't seem to remember. Even if you were injured, you'll have to bring us a burger every day at lunch or we'll beat you." Jang calmly lands a slap, then another, until Tevik starts to fear him. Jang asks, "Tell me, did this kid Dong, meaning me, do something to you? Or was I just an easy target?" Tevik replies, "Fatty, you were an easy target, that's why we bullied you." Jang slaps him again, scolds the others and chases them off. Then Kimj appears, the same boy who had once brought food out of fear. Now, seeing the bullying, Kimj also joins the attackers. They threaten Kimj, saying, "If you tell anyone, you'll be in trouble." These boys plan to strip Kimj and record it to blackmail him later. Jang sneaks up from behind, uses his strength to knock them all to the ground, and searches Tevik's phone. He finds many photos of Dong being bullied. Jang slaps Tevik once more and says, "I'll return the phone later." Back home, he checks his phone and watches a video that reveals the full truth. All the boys had been bullying Dong together. They had tied Yun's shoe to the antenna and forced Dong to walk along the wall. While doing that, Dong slipped and fell onto Jang. Now Jang knows exactly what happened to Dong. Tevik's boss starts beating Tevik and his friends because Tevik failed to delete the video. Jang shows up and says, "I made a copy of that video. Stay away from me or you'll regret it." Then he leaves with Kimj. Meanwhile, Jang's wife is taking advantage of his coma. Young appears in front of both of them and says, "I have photos of you two together. I'll send them to Chairman Han." Jang's wife asks, "Tell me straight, what do you want?" At that time, Jang returns to the hospital beside his own comatose body. Menchul is sitting there. He says, "Hey fatty, I told you not to hang around my boss." Surprised, Jang replies, "I'm your boss," and mentions details that only Jang would know. Menchul finally believes this is truly Mota. While satisfying his hunger, Jang asks Menchul, "Why were you guarding my body?" Menchul answers, "There was a rumor Yang might try to kill you at the hospital, so I was protecting the body." The next day at school, a girl bumps into Jang while walking fast and drops her teddy bear. Jang returns the teddy to her. She is Yun. She says, "Dong, your memory seems gone. You don't even recognize me." Then Yun's mother arrives, and Jang is stunned. It's Misan, Jang's first love. Misan says, "Dong, it's you, right? You've grown so much." Jang asks, "Misan, what are you doing here?" Misan slaps him and says, "Don't you have any manners?" Then she chases him away. Jang recalls old memories and wonders, if Misan is Yun's mother, then who is the father? A DNA test on some hair taken at school confirms that Yunan is indeed Jang's daughter. Furious, Jang reacts strongly. The next day, the same girls harass Yun again, accusing her of stealing their lipstick. While checking bags, Jang says, "I stole the lipstick, I didn't like it so I threw it away." He defends Yunan. Yunan cries and Jang shows Menchul photos of the girls bullying her, saying, "They harassed my daughter. Teach them a lesson." Menchul replies, "Boss, they're just little kids, they'll handle it themselves." Jang speaks with Misan and explains that even teachers are ignoring the bullying. Misan is upset and says, "All of this is because of Jang. He must not know what my daughter and I have been through." Jang promises, "Don't worry. I'll sort things out at school." Meanwhile, Jang's wife has joined forces with Yang and is telling the chairman that Jang embezzled 3 billion won. Jang decides he must protect his daughter and get Dong's body back in shape. He trains hard in the gym. Misan even sends Yun there. Yunan initially refuses to train, but as she tries to leave, Menchul appears disguised as a new teacher and stops her. He and Jang give her fighting training. In a few days, Yunan becomes a strong fighter and Jang loses weight and gets into shape. When Jang returns to school, the girls and boys are shocked by his new look. After school, he goes with Yunan to her home, where he finds many photos of his daughter. Seeing an old childhood picture, he saves it to his phone. Meanwhile, carpenter Jang is returning home after earning his wages when some men surround him. 2 years earlier they had lent him money and now demand repayment by force. Jang intervenes and fights them off, but Menchel takes most of the blows to protect him. Their boss tells them they have only 1 week to raise 80 million won. After saying this, the men leave. Jang worries when he finds carpenter Jang unconscious. Menchel goes alone to confront the men, breaks a bone and scolds them. 2 years ago you took 5 million and now you demand 80 million. Reduce it now or you'll regret it. Terrified, the men back down. At home, Jang cooks for carpenter Jang. Jang is deeply moved that his son cares so much for him. He tells Jang the men reduced his loan. At school, Jang is happy looking at the photos of his daughter. The girls return to bully Yun again, but this time Yun stands up to them and scares them off. Jang is overjoyed. His daughter is just like him. Later, Jang goes to Missin's restaurant and explains everything. Missin is pleased and prepares ramen for him. She says, "Watching you eat like this reminds me of someone. Lately you remind me of Yunna's father." Some customers begin teasing Missin. Enraged, Jang confronts them and a fight breaks out. Missin stops him, saying he'll get himself killed that way. Jang reveals to Missin that his spirit has entered Dong's body. At first Missin does not believe him. Jang convinces Missin by revealing the private marks on her body and reminding her about their first meeting, their breakup, and the truth about her pregnancy. Missin finally realizes that he is truly Jang. She says, "Why did you come back now? Yuna is not your daughter. I raised her alone. You are still a gangster, and that's why I left you." Missin tells Jang to leave, and he walks away helplessly. The next day at school, Jang is sitting with Yuna. A rich student invites her to his birthday party. Yuna is surprised, and Jang realizes she likes the boy. Feeling uneasy, he leaves. Missin is still lost in thought, and Jang texts her, asking to meet. The next day, Yuna arrives at the villa for the birthday party. Jang's school friend is also there, caught between the mean girls. During the party, the rich boy forces Yuna to drink, but she refuses. Then he shows his true colors and pours the drink on her. Jang arrives, beats up the guards, and rescues Yuna. More boys attack him, but Jang breaks one of their necks and defeats the rest. One guy is slightly better, but a few punches later he collapses as well. One of the bully girls becomes obsessed with Jang. Yuna pushes the rich boy into the pool, and both of them escape. The next day, Menchel goes to check on Jang's real body, but some men block him, saying the chairman has ordered that nobody is allowed to visit Jang. Menchel informs Jang that his wife joined hands with Yang and framed him. Now the chairman believes Jang embezzled 3 billion won and had an accident while trying to escape. Jang wonders what to do next. Following Jang's instructions, Menchel delivers a letter to the chairman. Then Jang meets Missin again and asks, "How is Yoon na?" The scene begins with Missin saying, "If you really care about Yoon, then leave right now." Jang turns to go, but that same girl blocks his way and asks if he and Yoon are dating. Jang angrily denies it. The girl says, "Then be my boyfriend," but Jang refuses again. She hands him a small box and walks away. A few moments later, Yoon arrives and sees the girl leaving. She asks if Jang is going to date that girl. He denies it again. Then Yoon says, "Then be my boyfriend." Jang angrily refuses and walks away. In the next scene, Yoon tells Missin that she wants Dong to be her boyfriend. Missin is shocked and furious because she knows Dong's body contains Jang's soul. Missin tells Yoon to stay away from him. The next day at school, Missin confronts Jang and says, "What have you done? My daughter wants you to be her boyfriend." Jang says he only wanted to be her friend. Missin angrily replies, "Leave and don't ever come back. We can never be together. You're already married." Yoon arrives and asks, "Who's married?" Without thinking, Jang tells her, "I like your mother." Yoon is stunned and believes her mother stole the boy she liked. Heartbroken, she runs away. Meanwhile, Yang beats up the guards and tries to get to Jang, but Jang wakes up and calmly says, "Uncle, your zipper is open." Seeing Jang awake, Yang faints. The scene shifts to Dong's home. Dong's spirit has entered Jang's body. Jang panics and Dong is terrified. Jang hits him lightly to calm him down and explains everything. At first, Carpenter Jang doesn't believe them, but slowly he accepts the truth. Jang tells Dong that if he likes Yoon-na and helps him, he might get closer to her. Jang's wife yells at Yang for failing to kill Jang. Yang tells her not to worry. His men are already searching for him. Soon, one of Yang's men reports that they have found Jang. Jang arrives with Dong at Missin's place. Dong pretends to be Jang and tells Missin that both souls have returned to their original bodies. Following Jang's instructions, Dong apologizes on Jang's behalf. Suddenly, Yang and his men show up. Dong starts crying in fear, and Missin realizes the truth. Jang sends them into the kitchen and tells Dong to keep Missin safe. Jang fights the gang members alone. Yang assumes he's just a weak high school student and underestimates him. One by one, Jang defeats all of them. Yang sends in his strongest fighter, and the two battle intensely. When Jang starts winning, Yang attacks from behind and holds a knife to Jang's throat. At that moment, Missin appears with a gas cylinder and a lighter. She says, "If you don't leave by the count of 3, I'll burn everyone alive." Terrified, Yang and his men run away. Jang rushes over, shuts the cylinder, and gently takes the lighter from her hand. Missin is shaking, scared and hurting inside. Dong comes out as well. Missin pushes the real Jang away and talks to Dong instead, pouring out all the feelings she kept buried for years. She says she missed him so much, and now after 17 long years, he has returned. Missin hugs Dong tightly. Jang understands that Missin still loves him. In the next scene, the chairman of Jang's company calls his daughter. He has learned from Jang's letter that she was working with Yang and trying to frame Jang. But Jang never stole any money. The chairman tells her that the letter was written before the accident, and the handwriting has been verified. Hearing this, the daughter is shocked. Jang explains the entire plan to Dong and instructs him on what to say in front of the chairman. Dong goes to meet the chairman while pretending to be Jang. The real Jang sits in the car and guides him through the radio. The chairman refuses to give any money to his daughter. He also finds out about the affair between his son, his daughter, and Jang's daughter. Dong finally tells the truth. He says that even if the chairman removes him from the company, he doesn't care, as long as he gets to stay with his family. Surprisingly, the chairman doesn't get angry. Jang's wife walks away. The chairman tells Jang that he can do whatever he wants. Dong leaves happily. The real Jang smiles, relieved that Dong handled everything perfectly. Then Jang pushes Dong aside and steps in front of the car himself. He gets injured and is taken to the hospital. Misun and Yoon-na rush there as well. When Yoon-na sees the real Jang, she says, "Mom, this is my dad, right?" The real Jang, who is still inside Dong's body, replies, "Yes, I'm your dad." Yoon-na becomes confused, wondering if her mother actually married her friend. Suddenly, the real Jang faints and Dong, who is inside Jang's body, also loses consciousness. Some time later, Jang wakes up in the operation room and realizes that the soul switch happened because of the lady in the restaurant. The story moves forward 6 months. Dong has returned to his real body. After being discharged from the hospital, he goes back to school. The students praise him, and both Dong and Yoon-na become the new heroes of the school. Gangster Yang is arrested by the police. The real Jang returns to his own body and starts living with Mi-sun. Carpenter Jang and Manuel begin working with them as well. Jang spends happy time with his daughter, and the movie ends with a happy ending. If this twist surprised you, then subscribe, because even bigger twists are coming next.